Helen Yee here with Eyes on the Game, and this weekend is UFC 222 going down at the T-Mobile Arena. Now, in the co-main event, it's the undefeated Brian Ortega. You are fighting former UFC lightweight champion in Frankie Edgar, but you're coming off a slick submission win over Cub Swanson. And then it was supposed to be Frankie Edgar and Max Holloway. Can you kind of talk about how that whole situation went down after?
Yeah, I mean, what happened was, unfortunately, Max Holloway got injured, and I think he's not injured for long. Something happened with his leg or something, and I think it's like an 8 to 12 week injury. So Frankie said that he wants to fight March 3rd, and then the UFC called me to see if I'm willing to step in on short notice and save the card, and that's what we did, and now we're here.
And do you think kind of taking a short notice fight will be beneficial since you are kind of riding that momentum off the Cub Swanson fight?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the more you stay active, the more you do media, the more you kind of engulf yourself in this world, the more I kind of realize this is my job. You know, the more I say, okay, like, you're in the game, you're fighting the top dog in the world, and you're doing good at it. So for me, it's just, if I can press a fast forward button on my career, I will, you know, because at the end of the day, I want to retire young, and that's my goal.
Yes, and you are still very young. Happy belated birthday. You just turned 27 years old.
I turned 27 during training camp, but we couldn't celebrate. But
this weekend?
This weekend, maybe. You know, I think I need a vacation, at least a little 2-week vacation.
Surfing, maybe?
I'm going to go somewhere and surf, maybe Bali.
Oh, that'd be nice. Wow. Yeah. And kind of behind the scenes, I was talking to your coach, and I told him, I remember interviewing you at UFC 199 when you were kind of talking about how you know, that incident, the surfing incident that happened. And can you imagine, like, did you know that fast forward almost 2 years, you would be in this position basically next in line for that title shot?
I didn't picture it would come so fast. But I'm happy that it did, and I'm happy that it came in the way it did, and I'm happy that the opponents that I fought to prove to get here. You know, I feel like when it comes to the whole, my entire goal was to bring credit, to get enough credit to come to these guys and say, why do I deserve to fight the best of the best? And I feel with finishing every single one of my opponents has did that. Finishing veterans like Clay Guida, guys well known and veterans such as Cub Swanson, finishing prospects like Renato Moicano has really put me in a different stage than the rest of the fighters. You know, I wanted to be different, you know, and I said, what can I do to be different in order to get the shots that I want to get? And that's what I did, and it came at a faster pace than I thought. But if you really look at it, out of the 4 years, I've been gone 2, so I've only done this in 2 years.
I know.
So I'm happy and I'm proud of myself. You know, I have to take time sometimes to say, stop being so judgmental with yourself. Stop putting yourself down. Life is all right. In 2 years, look what you've been able to accomplish. Just chill, dude. Like, just stop being so hard on yourself.
Wow, you're hard on yourself even after, you know, getting so much success in a short amount of time.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a perfectionist. You know, when it comes to trying to perfect my craft and do what I want to do, I am. You know, and that's why sometimes the comments people say about me or they leave about me doesn't really bother me, because I don't think you can judge me any harder than I judge myself. You know, and it is what it is. You know, I feel like that kind of judgment puts pressure on myself to keep training harder, to better myself, and to give the fans and myself the best version of myself.
And you are surrounded by a great team. Your coach was telling me that you guys have been working on something that will basically surprise everyone this weekend. Can we kind of get a hint on what you've been working on?
My coach is yeah. We're not going to talk the game plan, but yeah, we've been working. Like I said, we're always working. And the way I always work is I always see my fights and I say, the Brian now should be able to beat the Brian then. If I had to fight myself, I would beat myself. And that's always a goal, and that's always what I train for. And I think that's why he's excited about this.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've been training for stoppage, and because looking at a guy like Frankie Edgar, former champion and very well-rounded, you did mention that, you beat the Cub Swanson, stopped Clay Guida late in the third. I remember that fight. So do you think that Frankie would be your toughest opponent yet?
Yeah, Frankie's definitely my toughest opponent. He has the most cage time in the UFC history. He is a legend, former champion, and was going to fight for the belt. So absolutely, he's the biggest test of my career, and this is something that I'm ready for and that I long for.
And Max Holloway maybe after, if successful this weekend?
Successful this weekend, Max Holloway, we're coming.
Yeah. Well, it looks like everyone's starting to make their way to the face-off. So thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on your continued success, and hopefully after the win you get a nice, well-deserved trip to Bali.
Yeah, somewhere. We got to go somewhere.